Hi guys, welcome to Face to Face Friday. My name is Robyn Schmidt. It's Friday, which means it's time to make something face to face. Where's your face? Is it here? Good. Hi. Today, I'm making shower bombs. If you have not tried a shower bomb, then have no fear. At the end of this live, I have a little one over here so I can demonstrate to you what they look like. Oh, Tiffany says, hey. Liz says, good morning. So yeah, I have a shower bomb that I will show you at the end of this. You guys can see like what they do and how they work. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and do that today with you. And I'm making a double batch because, I don't know, the single batch is a little bit small, but it's really good if you're like, you know, if you haven't made them before, you're just trying to test them out or whatever. Christina says, hey. Patty says, hey, what's up, guys? What's up? Okay, so the shower bomb recipe. Let's talk about what is a shower bomb. So we know what bath bombs are, right? You put it in the bathtub, it fizzes, it foams, it makes like pretty bath art. Sometimes they can have surfactants in them, so it's like some soap can be in them. But yeah, so mainly, and they have like oils, and they make the bathtub feel nice, and they make your skin feel nice and soft. But there are people who don't take baths. There are people who just have showers in their house, or they just prefer showers for whatever reason. So a shower bomb is a good option for them because it gives them that same like exciting, this is a different experience in my shower, I am pampering myself kind of thing without it having to be a bath bomb. Holly says hello, Holly. So yeah, so that's where shower bombs kind of come in, and it's just like a nice alternative for people who don't use bath bombs. And yeah, since all of our recipes, hey, by the way, just thought I'd let you know, since all of our recipes are currently 20% off right now, I mean, if I were you, I'd run, not walk, and go get you some recipes that you want. But since all of our recipes are currently 20% off, I wanted to do like kind of a different recipe that people might not be as familiar with versus like Wonder Bar, which we do a lot, or bath bombs, which I know I do a lot of bath bombs. So we wanted just to kind of do like something a little bit different. I thought about doing the sprinkles, but landed on shower bombs. So yeah, if you're like kind of on the fence, you don't know, should you get this recipe? Yeah, I'll show you today how easy it is, and you can kind of decide for yourself if it's something you're interested in. Now, one of the things I really like about this recipe is that the ratio of baking soda to citric acid, this may be another factor for you, if, you know, because the price of citric acid, she do be a little high right now. Okay, like Snoop Dogg high. If the price of citric acid is just bumming you out hardcore, the ratio of citric acid to baking soda in this is lower than a 2-to-1 ratio. So, you know, save you a little bit on your pennies right there for your cost of making, for your cost of goods. And then the only ingredient that's in here that you probably, if you're already making bath bombs, you probably have everything already laying around with the exception of sodium alginate. It's a very interesting little substance. I have no clue what it does. This is, Amanda created this recipe. She did a great job because I would not have thought of to put all these things together. But it creates like this really beautiful foam in the bath bomb. And the good thing is you don't need a ton. Like, you only need like a tiny bit, so it's a little bit expensive like to buy a big bag, but I promise you that bag will last you forever. You will, I'm pretty sure my bag will expire before I'm able to use it all because it just kind of lasts forever. So in a minute I'm going to show you guys what mold we're using, but I just put some red 40 in there. I thought about using red 27, but since this is something that you rub on your body, I'm a little bit hesitant because it might stain. Red 27, she's kind of known for her like staining thing that she does. So just trying to back up on that. Oh, Liz says, I'm going through the FDA labeling information. Oh, that's interesting. Most of, you know, for the most part, cosmetics, it's pretty straightforward. Just have to list everything that's in there for the US. Yeah, list it in the order that it's in your recipe. So, Christina says, I love this recipe. Thanks for reminding me I need to restock this weekend. Yeah, restock on it. It's one of those, it's just, you know, you got to teach people how to use these things too. So that is one of the things, you know, if people have never used a shower bomb or even something like a bath bomb, they might not know how to use it and they might have questions about it. So that is something that, you know, you have to make sure that you're educating your customers on. But have no fear, I will show you how I use it and then you can do the same thing. For me, I found that customers really respond well to everything. Like write it on your labels, verbally tell them, like the market, this is how you do it, and then post videos showing how to do it. So like try to hit all those because, you know, people forget. I forget. If you tell me like it is already out my ear. I have no clue what you're talking about. I don't even remember. Did we have a conversation? I don't know. So, all right, let me move my mixer and we'll add some binder and we will be ready to go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm excited. So I think the original recipe might have said use binder if you feel like it's necessary. I don't know. I think there was like some kind of wording in there that was like problematic for some people because when we first like released the recipe, we had people who were saying like, oh, it crumbled, it fell apart. And then we would ask, did you use binder? And they would say no, because it felt wet and they didn't feel like it needed binder. So they didn't do that. So I'm here to tell you, use the binder. Don't not use binder. Use binder. So that binder that I used was water. That is my preferred and favorite binder. But don't skip out on binder. You need it. And I'm mixing it in really well, so I make sure I don't have like any pockets that expand, but also this is helping get that reaction started between the citric acid and the baking soda, which is going to help it hold together better. So that's another key thing. Like, make sure you're giving it plenty of mixing time, you know, don't skimp out on that. I will say, these do tend to be just slightly more dusty or crumbly than a traditional bath bomb. That's fine. That's cool. Because I like to use breakaway molds. Or actually in the past I've used kind of cube molds that were this size. This is the sample I'm going to show you in a little bit. Because I like mine to be individual use. But I have this breakaway mold that I got from Breaking the Mold, which is a Canadian supplier. That word, I just like, I don't know what happened. That word was hard for me. From a Canadian supplier. And so I really wanted to try it out on these. And so here we are giving it a go. And with this, once it's made, the customer will be able to snap off a piece of the shower bomb, take it into the shower with them, and then use that individual portion size, and then they can you know, save the rest for a later use. Now you could, if you wanted to, you could take the whole shower bomb into the shower. You don't have to have, where'd my spoon go? You don't have to have smaller portions like that. You can take the whole thing, and it's just, you know, once it hits some water, it does kind of start to activate. Once it's out of the water, it stops activating. So, you know, you could get multiple uses out of it, but love it, love it. It's a little crackly on the top. I'm going to add just a smidge more binder and see if that helps with that. As you can see, it's got like those, it's got like these indents, right, where will make it easier to break away. And I actually had somebody ask me if the shower bomb recipe, if you can paint them. And I was like, I don't know. I've never even considered painting them. So that the fragrance that I use for these is sour watermelon, maybe sour watermelon candy. I'll have to double check, from Nature's Garden, and I'll leave a link for that if you're interested in getting some. But it's sour watermelon, and so I thought, you know, this kind of mold looks, it could be like a little tiny watermelon. So I'm going to give it a shot once these are dry and see how painting them works, because that's fun, right? I've never thought about doing that, you know. Kathy said, never made one, not even sure how to use one, waiting for the demo faux show. Okay, I'm excited to show you guys the demo because I had tried one of these, I believe I had tried one from Lush years ago, and then somebody gave me a free recipe for some also like several years ago, not as many years ago, but several years ago. And the first couple times I tried them, they were super scratchy, and like I didn't like them. Like they were too scratchy for my preferences. Because they, you know, you can rub it on your body, so it can be like exfoliating if you want it to be. So I don't know, I just wasn't into it. Ooh, that worked perfectly. So this one that had the less binder, I'm going to go ahead and put back so that it can get kind of mixed in there, get that extra binder, help a girl out. So yeah, anyway, I'm excited. It worked. Also, it probably helped that I didn't spin the mold as I was tapping it. Some molds don't like appreciate that when I do that to them, so you know, 9 times out of 10, I mean, there are definitely molds that have problems, and people send me messages sometimes and like, I'm having trouble with this bath bomb, I can't get blah 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 to work, and I'll ask them to send me a picture of the mold, and I'm like, oh, I can look at that mold and tell you why that's not working. So sometimes, occasionally it's the mold, especially if it's like from a supplier that's, you know, not one of our recommended suppliers. Just gonna lay it out like that. Not saying that they're not great. I'm just saying there's a lot of people out there. Do your own research. Anyway, but a lot of times it's just user error. A lot of times it comes down to just like figuring out how that particular mold works. So I did see a question. My nose itches so bad. Do you need a preservative if customers use it more than once? No, because it will dry out. It'll dry out all the way between the two uses, so you don't need a preservative in it. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could add a preservative, but I never have. So I guess maybe that's kind of like up to you. I just have never tested it to see if there's growth or anything like that. I just don't think that there would be, but I also am not a scientist, so I don't know for sure. But they dry out all the way. That's the thing. And then it's like surface activation. Like if you put it in the shower and it starts to activate, it doesn't activate all the way through. It's like on the top. And so those layers dry out, and then it gets kind of like a crunchy, this is appealing. It gets kind of like a crunchy layer on the top of them. So it looks to me like it dries out all the way. I'll just leave it at that. So I would say use your best judgment. None of the ones that I've seen from other suppliers had preservatives in the ingredient list either, so that's another thing. Like a lot of times when we're kind of reverse engineering recipes, we look and we see like what are other suppliers, like how are other suppliers doing it, and then we try to like, we're like, okay, we know that this ingredient does that and this ingredient does that, so we kind of like base it off of that. Danielle, what kind of mold are you using? Yeah, so this is a hybrid mold, and it's also a snap away or a breakaway mold, and I will show you in just a second. I'll definitely leave links in the description so you guys can go get one of these for yourself if you're interested in it. But it's from Breaking the Molds or Break the Molds, which is a Canadian supplier. And I might be able to get one more whole one out of this. I'll have to check. I'll have to see how far I can get. And this is, like I said, this is a double batch. So, all right, let's try this last one. Let's see if we can get a full one out of this last. I need one of those little shaver things. I know, right? I mean, people are like all the time. I use them in my lives all the time, and I'll leave a link for that as well. And people are always like, oh, you could just use a knife, which, like, yeah, you could. Or you could use like a pastry cutter. You could use a butter knife. You don't need that little shaver diddly-do, but it sure is useful. You know what I'm saying? So I have just slightly, quite not enough. See how the mold's like not quite even on the bottom. We'll try to make it work. We'll see if it'll still work. This would end up probably being a like a demo one. And then obviously if I was like going to use this mold all the time, I could tweak with the recipe batch size to make it just slightly larger to make sure that I get this last one as a complete bath bomb, right? And this one might break just because it's not all the way full. Oh, it didn't break. Look at that. What do you know? Okay, so when these are dry, I'm going to give them a shot at being painted. I'm very excited to try that and give it a shot. I've never tried that before. Just like somebody asked me about it and I was like, yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. Like I should try it, right? All right, let's show you how a shower bomb works. So I have a bowl here of water. So if this was a big shower bomb, I could break off a piece and I could put it in the shower with me and kind of get it wet, kind of get it activated, and then I would start like scrubbing with it. Now there's a tiny piece, right? But you can see that there's like little crumbles in there, and so it kind of acts like an exfoliator. But I like to use the portion that's about this size. I would crush it up, get it wet, get it started. I know the color is like basically the same color as my hand because these were from, I used a discoloring fragrance oil in these when I made them, because they were for personal use, and it was pink sugar, and pink sugar, I just like adore the way pink sugar smells. But basically you would keep working it up into a lather, and like it makes a really beautiful lather. And these are, this little cube is a year old, which is why I'm actually like making some more. Like I need to make some more because these were for myself and I like them. But yeah, you just get this like really beautiful foam that's like really dense and super creamy. If it's fresh, the foam is even creamier and even thicker. It's amazing. And you still do have like a tiny bit of that exfoliation. I don't know if you can still see those off the reflection of the light, but you still get those like tiny beads of exfoliation. So you get like a little bit of exfoliation, tons of creamy lather. It feels really nice on your skin. Your skin feels so silky smooth and soft. Like it's kind of, I don't even know how to describe how smooth and soft your skin will feel when you're done using one of these. So that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? I wish I could describe to you how good your skin feels. It feels amazing. Let's see how much it foams up when it's fresh, when it's not a year old. Right? Let's get some of this out of here. It's like marshmallow cream for your skin. It's amazing and super decadent and super delicious. Yeah, you definitely should give this a shot. Like I said, it has less citric acid than traditional bath bombs, so that could save you a little bit on your cost of goods. And it's just really pretty. It feels really nice. You'll probably have all the ingredients with the exception of the sodium alginate, which we get from Amazon. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Don't forget that all of our recipes are 20% off right now until I don't know what day. I should probably know, but they're 20% off for the holiday weekend, so probably through the holiday weekend. So I will leave a link in the description so you can get this recipe if you've never tried it before, but you're like on the fence, you don't know what it does, you don't know what good it is, what you could use it for. Now you know, and you kind of see how it works. And so yeah, you can get that recipe now for like 20% off. So that's it for today, guys. If you have any further questions, make sure that you drop them down in the comments. Oh man, my skin feels so soft. It feels like I used lotion, even though I didn't use lotion, and I exfoliated, so it feels really awesome. Yeah. So I will leave links in the description for where you can get this recipe, where you can get the mold, where you can get the scraper do, and any other questions that you might have. That's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I super appreciate it. But as always, happy making.